Good morning. It's early on a Saturday, and I'm here at the Little Manatee River State Park, and I'm going to do the Loop Trail, which is a 6.6 mile trail, more or less. And here's the Iron Ranger that you pay, and here's the envelopes, and they have a map. So, placing my envelope in there, paid my dues, and we're going to start our hike. Getting a little later start than I'd hoped for. At least I planned for a better hike starting out along this loop trail. And I can see there's a yellow blaze, so I'm assuming that's the color that I'm going to follow. Part of the Florida Trail Association. So thank you, Florida Trail and the maintainers. Here we are going across our bridge. You can say, like here, there's a piece of wood missing. You can tell a couple other pieces of wood have been replaced recently. So there's been someone out here doing maintenance. I'm testing out some new gear today. It's my first time hiking in these pair of sneakers. I'm also trying out a wireless microphone that I just got 2 days ago prior to taking this trip. We come here to our first, turn, and I'm going to go to the right to do the loop. You can go either way. I'm going to go to the right, and I'll be making counterclockwise loop. Just in discussing, I found this, actually my wife, Mrs. Drew, found this trail for me. It was in the area. I was mentioning I probably tried to go on a hike early Saturday morning. I had a block of time, about 4 or 5 hours free. And I like to keep busy, and I like to do a hike. I don't normally get to this area, so very frequently. I've only been here twice now, so like to hike a trail if I can. So it was a good find because it was close by and a good distance. 6.6, that's a good first hike in 2 months. I haven't really walked that far or hiked that far. I am wearing a backpack. I'll turn around and show me later. But let's face it, we'd rather look at the trail, right? I know I would. I am carrying a pack just for weight and training purposes, but it's lightly loaded. It weighs, with the camera in my hand, it's probably about 20 pounds. And I had a sleeping bag in there, but I took it out because I'm actually using it at my relative's house. There's no bed, so I'm using that as my blanket to sleep in. So it pays to be a hiker. You're equipped and you need minimal space and effort on other people's part. We're self-contained. I have a 1.5 liters of water, or maybe 1.7. Once again, I don't think I'm going to need that much. It's cool right now. The temperatures are in the 50s, but the sun's coming up, so it's going to start warming up pretty soon. And I'm sure it'll be humid. Walking down the trail here, I got, like I said, I got my backpack on, my ankle and my knee. Obviously, we just started out. I've walked, a little over half a mile. Feel good. I gotta say the back feels really good with the backpack on. It's not as heavy as it would normally be if I was really hiking, but feeling good. Very, a positive on that. This is one of the reasons why I'm out here doing this, is to, just get a small victory. So positive, baby steps starting out, not going on a 15, 20 mile hike or overloading myself. So to me, this is a small step toward that full recovery and getting back on the trail like would normally do with full activities with a loaded pack. Hoping this will be the start of some more activities. Obviously, between work and family and other obligations, it's hard to get out sometimes. I thought about bringing a gimbal to hopefully smooth out some of these walks so you don't get dizzy, but I decided against it. Felt it would be bulky. I was actually looking at another one, a newer one that can carry my camera. The gimbal I have cannot carry this camera. It's too heavy and too big. And obviously, the larger the gimbal, the more the weight. But I'm thinking about toward my next hike. I like taking the camera. I think the quality of this far surpasses anything in my cell phone. Cell phone's good. I mean, they're so much better than they used to be. But it can't compare to me to the clarity and the quality of the camera. So I figured it's a short hike, 6.5, roughly, 2-3 hours. I can carry a camera, but I don't have a gimbal that carries the camera. So that was the trade-off, I guess. No gimbal, but better quality, or I can bring a gimbal and just use my cell phone. Okay, I'm coming up to a crossing in the road, as it says cross trail. So we're gonna go stay to the right. And this to me is surprising. And we're going down probably about a 15-foot, maybe even a 20-foot drop. So for a Florida trail, that's an extreme elevation change. And here's another little bridge. This is probably the 4th or 5th little bridge I've gone over on the path already. So they're not long, but there's a lot of them. Yep, and here's another bridge. Here's a little stream. I guess if you needed to get water, if you were hiking and you didn't plan, you could. And very clear, sandy bottom. Well, hello. This is me out on the trail. Just passed a runner a little while ago. He was passing me. I put the mask on just for safety, and also I want to show it off. Mrs. Drew, thank you very much for my hiking mask. You can tell she's a little supportive of me. She's actually the one that found this trail for me when she found out where I was going. So she's very supportive, and I thank her. It's been beautiful out here. It's started out in the upper 50s, probably 58, 59. It's probably in the mid 60s right now. The sun's starting to come up. It's still below the tree line though, so it hasn't really got that hot. But it's very well shaded. You got a canopy of trees, so the temperatures are cooler in here, and you don't have to worry about the sun as much. I put sunscreen on just in case. I'm sure there's some open areas further on, but other than that, it's been honestly a very nice trail. You can walk it clearly. You don't have to worry. There's not too many tripping hazards. As long as you're watching where you're putting your feet, it's a trail still, but it's pretty well marked and well cleared. So so far, this one is really nice. I'm glad I came here so far. I'm gonna keep on going, and I'm also gonna have my breakfast. And up on the menu today is a white chocolate macadamia nut Cliff Bar. I saw this kind of as a last minute thing. I was in a gas station. I was going to buy a bottle of water, which I ended up buying Gatorade, which is my drink when I get back to my car. And I saw these on sale. I think they were for $1, which is a great buy for a Cliff Bar. But I love probably one of my favorite things is probably white chocolate and macadamia nuts. I love those cookies, so it was an easy buy. So I bought 2 of them. I'm only going to eat 1. Okay, we're back on trail. I took maybe 5 minutes there, maybe a little longer. I've gone about 2.5 miles already. I'm going to eat my bar while I walk. And I switched out to a wired microphone, which I'm hoping, or I would expect to have maybe better quality. Basically, a little more than a third of the way done. And this is what the trail has mostly been, soft tread. It's pretty clear in the path if you're going. It's soft underfoot. It's been well marked. It's been shaded almost the whole time. And as I'm walking along the trail now, I'm kind of reaching the farthest point away from the trailhead. And just this little section here, it borders a residential development. And this is the closest I've come to civilization, I guess, on the trail. This area you can tell is a little less traveled, probably. Definitely notice there's more, roots, more leaves. and doesn't seem to be as clearly traveled as the other portions, probably close to the trailhead. Oh, I got a runner coming toward me. I'm gonna probably step off the trail. Oh, it looks like he stopped. Oh, he's running with his dog. Okay. And we're gonna let them pass. Hey! Gentleman out running with his dog. It's now 9:30. I've been walking for about an hour and 17 minutes or so. And according to my watch, I've gone just over 3 miles. Okay, we're passing a marker with the number 7 on it. Appears like I picked the wrong way to go comparative to the way they're designed the trail. All the signs are facing the wrong way for me. A little bit of a twist here, obviously, but and you got a board missing, but that's really no issue. And you can see kind of stagnant water here. So, but obviously important to the local area, the ecology of the area, and it's alongside the trail here. So it's a little bit wet here, but it is passable. As you can see, there's a little higher section, so it's a little bit muddy if you step right in the middle of the trail, but if you follow obviously the well-worn path that other people have done to avoid the water, you don't need to worry about it. So that's the muddiest it's been so far. And of course, what happens when you say the trail's been good and dry? This is what you get. So this is where I'm assuming the trail is supposed to be, but because it's muddy and full of water, or standing water in a couple of places, people have, obviously, what usually happens is they go to the sides. And if they go to the left, it's the higher side than the right, which is also full of water. So you basically have a new trail being pathed out or worn out all along here. So that's where I'm going to go to keep myself dry as well. But obviously the trail was originally, in my opinion, meant to go through here. So there you go. There's the trail. I'm going to pan slowly around so as hopefully not to make you dizzy. But you can see this is where the trail is supposed to go. And because it's, you can see some people have stepped through there, but generally because it's wet, most people have made a side trail skirting around this water. And now you have a new trail basically worn out. And no one's pretty much using this, or very few people are using this because of the water. Probably standing water most of the year. And here we are along a river. I'd like to guess it's the Little Manatee River, but you can't be sure, can you? As it relates to the park, I've basically gone to the, I started out heading westbound, and then I'm guessing southbound now, and I'm at the river where the trail turns back toward the trailhead, so I should be going to the east. And you can see there's a couple of paddlers on the river here. While I'm walking along, I noticed a couple of paddlers traveling down that river that I stopped at a minute ago. So obviously there's a place you can probably put in your canoe or kayak. And another view of the river. Obviously someone put a bench here. You can sit and watch the river and the water go by. And here's another one of those posts with the number 6 on it. And that's the reason that I said I went the wrong way. Then the trail was obviously designed, because it was obviously designed, I guess, clockwise. And the numbers are going down because I'm going counterclockwise. So just something I observed. You know, I started, the numbers were higher and they're going lower. So obviously when they made the trail, they counted up going to the left or clockwise, whereas I went to the right and counterclockwise. So it doesn't really matter. And I see another boardwalk coming up, which is nice. And I could hear, must be several canoes with the families in them. They're talking, they're going downriver, they just passed. You can kind of see the last one here. They're having some trouble navigating the little turn. They got stuck, and you could hear them, all talking to each other, arguing about, go left, to paddle on the left side, no, the right side. It's funny. Takes me back to going with the kids, or scouts. But it's just nice, serene, peaceful here. So I'm a little further down the trail. I'm coming up on probably the 5.9, maybe 6 mile mark. Passed a lot of people walking. I just passed a group, probably about 9 or 10, but I passed a lot of couples or groups, 3, 4, all different ages, all different demographics. So it's nice to see people out here using this park and this trail. Obviously I'm close to the trailhead, so you get a lot more use. So I've probably seen in the last, I would say half mile, 30 to 35 people, 40 on the upside. A little open area here. And you should be able to hear the traffic. The mic should be picking it up. So now I'm walking toward the road, and then the road is going to curve and head back toward the trailhead. And the path I came in is the same path I have to go back out on, where we first saw that split. You can either go left or right to do the loop. And when I get there, I'll know I'm really back at the trailhead. So from there, I imagine so. And this is the hardest obstacle I've had to go through this whole trail. I would say, beside going down that little 15-20 foot dip, that was the most physical you had to get other than walking on this trail. And I should be coming up to that first T or intersection where the trail split to the left and right any minute now. You know what? I guess I'll do my little sum up of the trail while I'm walking here and save time and give you something good visually to look at. This trail is good. I would highly recommend it if you're in the area. Wouldn't travel obviously just for this trail, but if I'm in the area and had a couple hours, I'm looking to fill up, this would be a good trail. You're looking at maybe 2.5 hours of walking, maybe 3 if you stop and with the kids, take a break or bring a little snack. And it's 6.5 miles walk, which might be too much for some, but I think most people could do this. Even if you want to slow down, take your time, you could easily stretch this out to 3 or 4 hours. That might be a little bit too much for some people. They might not enjoy that. It was easy to walk along the trail. It's well marked. It's very manageable for anyone of almost all abilities. Okay, I reached the T for the first intersection, and I'm walking on my way back to the trailhead where I parked my vehicle, and then I'll be done. Hello. Well, I'm back at my car, as you can hear by the traffic, at the Little Manatee River State Park. I just completed the loop trail, which is approximately 6.4 miles. Really shocked how busy the parking lot is. When I came here and I walked in, I was one of 3 cars. There's probably easily 20 cars here right now. So it's nice to see this park being used and this trail being used. This is a great trail. I would really recommend it if you're in the area. I wouldn't travel, obviously, just to do this trail. But if I'm in the area and I had a block of time, maybe 3-4 hours, and I wanted to get out in nature, this would be a good spot. It's easy on and off. It's near local highways. You can get here from main roads, I-75, or I think this is 301 out here. You can get in, you can get out. There's resources in the area if you need to pick up, water, food, snacks. So it's not out in the middle of nowhere. And you could easily do the hike with, some kids or dogs. Another thing that's really good about this trail is actually for Florida, it was really cool because it's a cool morning. It's, like I said, it was in the upper 50s, probably 58, 59 when I got here. It's probably the 60s today. It's actually cool and breezy. This is unusual for the area, I've been told. It's usually a little hotter at this time of year. But additionally, you're in shade almost the whole hike. I was in a canopy of trees, which reduces the temperature even more. So, I put sunscreen on figuring I was going to be out in the sun like I am now, and it never really happened. There were probably 1 or 2 sections that I was exposed to some sun, but they're brief. And if I didn't put any sunscreen on, I don't think I would really worry about getting any sunburn while doing this trail. So that's a good plus to me. Even if it was probably a warmer time of year, it might be a little cooler inside there with the canopy of trees. Don't forget to fill out the ticket at the box. Where you go in, the little Iron Ranger there, take an envelope, put your money in, and stick a tag on your dashboard to show you paid. I'm sure there's a lot of people here that don't pay and just walk in. It's on the honor system, but that's what integrity is. Do the right thing even when no one's watching. Some stats for the hike. According to my GPS, my watch, I did 6.46 miles. I did that in 2 hours and 28 minutes, and that's an average of 2.6 miles per hour. Also, in looking at the map, I discovered that the numbered posts that I point out in the video, starting at 1, going to 2, all the way around, all are spaced 1/2 mile apart from each other as you do the loop, which is clockwise. So, of course, I went counterclockwise, so the numbers were dropping. But there are 1/2 mile separation between posts. The whole trail has very minimal change in elevation or slope throughout. Also, if you're looking for a little bit longer stay or more adventure, I guess, in this park, that campsite is available for rent. And it's very reasonable. It's $5 per camper per night. It's a primitive campsite, so there's no facilities there. For me, this was a great way to spend a Saturday morning, a couple of hours to get back on the trail. First time out on the trail after my injury. Wasn't really trying too much or hard on my knee or my ankle, but I got to get back out there and at least do something. I felt good when I was done because at least I know I did a little exercise and I got back out there. I did wear my pack for some extra weight, but I didn't wear a full pack. My pack was probably just under 20 pounds. And with the lack of elevation change, was not a very big or hard workout. Additionally, I want to kind of apologize for the footage in the video because while I used my camera because I think it gives a better image, it does have image stabilization, but I don't think I had it turned on. To me, the video was quite choppy or bouncy. And that made me realize that that's not the kind of videos that I think I or other people want to watch. And I've seen other people's videos, and I think it makes it challenging to watch. So that made me go out and decide to buy a new gimbal for my next hike. And I'll be taking this with me. It can carry my cell phone without issue. And I'll be taking this out with me on my next several hikes, hopefully, including the one I'm planning. I'll be doing a video on that coming up in a couple of weeks. And I'm planning on taking that on the trail with me. I'm just getting used to it. I just got it basically yesterday before I'm filming this. So I'm hoping to try it out on some practice hikes and then actually take it with me on the trail. Once again, as always, I appreciate you taking time out of your day to watch my videos. Please leave a comment below. I appreciate them, good, bad, and otherwise. As well as
a like if you feel like so inclined. Give me a thumbs up. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to watch this video. Till we meet again.
Most of my ramblings on will end up not being used, fortunately. Maybe I'll put that in.